This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
This episode is brought to you by Unstoppable. Discover the inspiring true story about Anthony Robles, who defied every expectation to become a national wrestling champion in Unstoppable, a new original movie from Amazon MGM Studios and director William Goldenberg, evoking the excitement and camaraderie of classic sports dramas and thrilling wrestling matches. Unstoppable features an all-star ensemble cast, including Jarrell Jerome, Jennifer Lopez, Don Cheadle, Michael Pena, and Bobby Cannavale. Watch Unstoppable now, exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
Crazy pickup here for the Chicago Bears, naming a new head coach in Ben Johnson, who is most known for his role as the offensive coordinator with the Detroit Lions. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I love this move. I absolutely love this move for Ben Johnson. I love this move for the Chicago Bears. I think this is a great situation for both of them. Ben Johnson, there was a lot of rumors of him possibly going to play for the Raiders, the Patriots, the Jets, all over the NFL because obviously he was a top priority, but the Chicago Bears is a perfect situation for Ben Johnson, and this is exactly why. Because one, the Chicago Bears, they got crazy amount of salary cap right now. They got a crazy amount of cash to spend in free agency and to bring talent there. They're top 5 in cap space right now. So not only do you already have a lot of talent on that team with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams, Swift, you got a lot of offensive firepower over there, but also you got the cap space to bring in more talent if you want to, and then to bring in more talent on the defensive end like you're gonna need to do. So I'm happy for Ben Johnson that he's with a team with great talent, salary cap, a top 10 pick in a draft. The only thing that concerns me about Ben Johnson going with the Bears is that it's the Chicago Bears, and we know what the Chicago Bears can do is just find a way to ruin anything that's a good situation. Like I mentioned, you got all these things rolling for you. Top 10 draft pick, you got money to spend going into free agency, you got great talent that's already there on the offensive end to let Ben Johnson cook up. But the thing is, man, I just don't know what it is about the Chicago Bears. They just find ways to ruin things, and man, I'm hoping for their sake that this is a situation that is completely different. I'm hoping for their sake Ben Johnson becomes the savior of the Chicago Bears and really helps them out. I've seen them struggle all year long under Eberflus, and there was multiple games they could have won, but coaches didn't like to call timeouts. The play call was awful. I think Caleb Williams got fed a lot of different bad things that didn't really help his game. And now that he's with a guy like Ben Johnson, who can probably simplify the game a little bit for him, I think he'll be beneficial. But I'm just hoping that they actually show out. I'm happy for him. It's an amazing situation from this standpoint. And I think that this is all up for the Chicago Bears. Now, another coaching change that I am very excited about because this is my team here, the Atlanta Falcons. So they hired Jeff Ulbrich as their defensive coordinator. They finally got the guy who I thought was already going to be, the defensive coordinator from day one. I mean, as soon as I finally seen the Falcons interview defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, I just knew it was going to be straight. I'm like, all right, they got it. He secured it. Now, the thing is, I love this hire, but a lot of other Falcons fans don't, and I do not understand why they don't like this. I've heard some things. So the main thing that I've heard is we've already been through this. We don't need to go through the same coaching staff as 2020. And let me just please, bro, listen to me, and let me just break this down in a way like that's going to hopefully, change your mind or just hopefully open an eye to the new perspective of guys being here. So I get nobody on the Atlanta Falcons fan base wanted to see a reuniting coaching staff from 2020. But also, bro, you got to remember, when you step in the middle of the season, like, it's completely different from already being there. You've already established a new culture yourself. And then you also have a better pool of talent players-wise. Like, you have a better pool of players there right now than what you had back in 2020. Like, at least I think so. when I'm going at the list of who was on that roster at the time. And then the thing is, you keep talking about, oh, well, 2020, we already seen Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator. They didn't really have success. It was 4-7, I believe, as the interim stage in 2020. But the thing is, bro, a lot of y'all not realizing that was 5 years from now. In that time span of when Raheem Morris was gone after 2020 and Jeff Ulbrich was gone after 2020, you got to realize Raheem Morris went on to win a Super Bowl. That's experience there for people to look at and for people to utilize. You got to realize Jeff Ulbrich, he had a top 5 defense 3 or 4 years he was gone. And yes, some people might say, oh, well, that was all Robert Saleh. You know, it was just him. It was him calling the plays. That had nothing to do with Jeff Ulbrich. Okay, first off, I'm not going to say that. And even if that was the case where it was Robert Saleh calling the plays, you don't think Jeff Ulbrich learned anything from that situation? I disagree that it was Saleh calling the plays, but I'm just saying, even if that was the case, he still had to have learned something under great leadership that was helping him perfect that defensive side. So bringing him there with Raheem Morris, who was already a great defensive coordinator in itself, who helped the Rams win a championship and got key game-winning stops when he was with the Rams as the defensive coordinator, pairing Jeff Ulbrich with already a great defensive coordinator, you don't think that's going to be somewhat beneficial? And then I'm going to even go a step further. A lot of people talk about, oh, well, the past of 2020. Look, man, last year, Raheem Morris won 8 games with Jimmy Lake as the defensive coordinator. It seriously cannot get worse. From what I witnessed with Jimmy Lake's schemes, I doubt that Jeff Ulbrich has anything worse than what Jimmy Lake was cooking up. And you know what? I'm happy Raheem Morris brought his buddy, because sometimes when you got friends there, you can talk to your friends a little different. You can say, hey, tighten the up. And then your friend might understand, like, all right, let me get it together. But when you got new guys there who you never had a relationship with, then it might start off a little rocky. That we might see something like Jimmy Lake, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to give you a chance. But you're not doing it right. Whereas if it's your friend, you can say, hey, look, bro, you got one shot to get this right. And if you mess up, you got to be gone, because my ass is on the line. So I'm okay with Raheem Morris bringing the whole buddy thing. I think it's like, you know, it is what it is. 90% of the NFL are all friends and coaching staff and all of that stuff. You don't think Ben Johnson is going to bring anybody he doesn't know or hasn't played with or coached with? Like, you don't think he's going to do that? You know, like, man, that's just how this league has been going on, and that's how this league has been working for years. Especially now that we see a lot of former players turning to coaches. They're all bringing in old teammates. They're all bringing in old coaching staff and buddies that they know are good at their job. That's what we've been seeing forever, since we started seeing this whole player coach type of thing. So I'm not upset about it, man. I'm happy that these guys get to run it back and have full control and can start it from day one and build a culture from day one, rather than just picking up in the middle of the season. I highly doubt the Falcons to get any worse than what they were last year. And that's the biggest bright side to me, because I'm like, as long as they improve, as long as Jeff Ulbrich is throwing great schemes out there, and I'm cool. I'm content. I'm content. I have no problem with the same 2020 staff. As long as they can win, then I'm cool. Yeah, man, I don't know. Falcons fans just, some Falcons fans just, I swear, man, they the most unhappy fan base. Like, they gonna complain about anything. I seen a tweet, and I can 1000% agree with it. I feel like Falcons fans, if Jesus himself said, I'm gonna come down and be the defensive coordinator, the Falcons fans would still be like, oh, damn it, why do we have this guy? I just know, man, I don't know what is up with Falcons fans hating every single move that is made within the organization. I know everything's not perfect, but damn, can you be a little optimistic? Like, bro, I mean, you got a coach that won a Super Bowl. You got a defensive coordinator that, you know, was a top 5 defense, regardless of who you said was calling the plays. That's still experience that he can learn from, bro. Like, damn, be optimistic. Say they gonna win more than 8 games. Say they gonna actually be better on the defensive end. Like, damn, bro. Come on, man. So I tell you, Falcons fans, bro, they complain about every damn thing, man. Like, come on, y'all. Be happy for a change. Damn. Be happy we ain't got Desmond Ridder. Shit. All right, anyway, look, man, I'm going to leave y'all with this. That's all I got. First off, that's all I got. So I appreciate that. I'm going to leave y'all with a positive note, man. And a positive note, really, really simple. It's just, falling back is progress. It's just all about perspective. And that just means, bro, like, you might be working towards your goal and you see a setback, but just know the setback is a new experience that you haven't seen before. Like, if you wasn't trying at all, you would have never even experienced that setback. 5 years ago, you may not have seen that setback. So it's like, sometimes the setback is just another way of thinking, like, hey, I'm a step closer than what I was before, because before I didn't even have this opportunity to fail. And now I'm getting closer and closer because, like, now I'm getting the opportunity to fail. So, you got to really think about it, but accept it however you want to accept it, man. Falling back is progress. It's all about perspective. I'm gonna leave it at that. Other than that, man, look, I appreciate you for kicking it with me, hanging with us. Shoot us a quick take, of course, 219-413-9405. I appreciate it. Send us to a cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, co-worker, spouse, anybody you know, man. I appreciate it. And then, look, man, we'll be back later on next week, or later on this week, actually. We'll talk more about the NFL and also college football, too. But yeah, we'll be back later on this week. And so on and so on and so on.